So I guess changing gears a little bit, what do you see as the most significant new technologies in orthopedics more broadly? I mean, across everything that you have experience with, you know, be it spine, trauma, hip, knee, et cetera, sports medicine.
Well, the most promising technology that I see, I think robotics is very interesting, and I think it's just starting to really come into its own in orthopedics. And there's a little bit of it in spine, maybe not quite as much at this point, but I think, the ability to take what a human being does and improve on it, I think is the future, and some of the more customized implants that seem to be coming out through the ability to 3D print, I think is a good step in the right direction. My personal opinion of spine is what's happening today is still relatively barbaric. We're fusing people's backs, and ultimately there's got to be a leapfrog in technology. I don't know exactly what that is yet, but where we get to more of a biologic type of solution or way to regenerate the spine versus just turn it into a 2x4. But I think that's still years out. We're in the trauma market, and the product that we have is really a new way to stabilize fractures in bones. And it's particularly well adapted for patients with osteoporosis, which, if you sort of look at the demographics, it's a huge increase. And we do it through a percutaneous approach, which is a lot different than sort of traditional ways of fixing bones. So I think there's a lot of very exciting technology out there. And the future really looks, both in terms of numbers of procedures, numbers of patients, and the opportunities, I think it's as good as it's ever been.
Michael?
I would agree with it. I think that our biggest push, we live in a mechanical world, so everything's somewhat mechanical, and the reason being is we don't really understand a lot of what happens with the biologics. It's funny, we've just waded into the biologic category with osteogenic, osteoconductive, and osteoinductive products, and when you're talking to surgeons, they actually don't know the difference between those three things. They don't understand that completely, which is fascinating because they're actually surgeons. So when you get into that, the really kind of the intriguing thing that we look at is how to get those things in there. So it's all about speed and time, and that's speed of surgery, how quickly you can do surgery because that's efficiency, and how quickly you can get the patient recovered and back to work because that's also efficiency. Both of those things impact the market as a whole. So those are the things we focus on in our R&D roles. And so that's drug delivery, which would be great if we could do that. We haven't seen that yet really inside the spine space, and that's coatings and different biological types of things that we can introduce through the implant or just without the implant as a whole or being the implant. So those are sort of the technology growth drivers inside the space that we're working in the mechanical world.